New Horizons is riddled with scams. Not in the game itself though, Nintendo has been very nice to us. I'm talking about the people trying to take advantage of the 40 million of us that have purchased the game and sunk far too many hours into than we're happy to admit. Throughout our time playing, we've had to dodge so many awful people trying to do everything they could to scam every penny out of us. It seemed like everywhere you turned, there was an option to buy something in the game with real money, which, isn't the worst thing ever. If you were to drop money on a game that you love to play, I guess it's just up to you. But a lot of these sales were absolutely ridiculous. And it all started with Raymond. I know I've talked about this recently, but Raymond was the start of it all. His incredible popularity opened the doors to people earning their yearly salaries by hacking in Raymonds and selling them on eBay for absurd amounts of money. Real money, not bells. Cold, hard cash. The Gray Cat was selling for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Raymond had no amiibo. You couldn't just make him appear unless you broke open your Switch with homebrew software. So you either traded in-game or traded real-life currency. And since no one really knew a ton of people who had the ability to hack stuff into the game and were willing to supply them with a Gray Cat completely free, these people turned to the internet where others were selling Raymond for hundreds of dollars. Or in this one instance, $1,000. Though I guess this sold previously tag could be referring to a past sale that was far less than $1,000. But if you were going to see how much Raymond would cost, these are the listings you would find. Whether or not people were paying these prices is hard to find evidence for. Just because something is listed for a price doesn't mean that people are actually buying for that price. Raymond is the perfect example of how supply and demand works, something Nintendo knows all about. Amiibos that sell out in 3 seconds. The cat was hard to find. It either takes a lot of luck or a lot of Nook Mile tickets to get him on your island. Between this and people posting about how excited they were during a time when we were only allowed online, created a hype and thus a huge demand for him, but a very, very small supply. Which, in the end, makes demand even larger. Which is why people were able to charge so much for Raymond. But this wasn't the only example of the Raymond scams. People were also selling him on Nookazon for Nook Mile tickets or bells. Some allowing you to grab him in boxes so you could get him on your own island. Not a scam. Some just allowing you to talk to him on their island so you could experience Raymond, whatever that means. Also not a scam. As well as people, or maybe a person who pretended that you could get Raymond in boxes to your island, but oh no, sorry, you're only allowed to see that Raymond was in boxes, not actually talk to him. This is the scam. But what came after Raymond? Unfortunately, the pandemic caused massive issues with the supply chain, which means that manufacturing was pretty much impossible, especially manufacturing Switches. At the beginning of lockdowns, everyone was looking for something to entertain them for the long road ahead that we thought was gonna be like 2 weeks long, and now it's been 3 years and we're still here, but whatever. The Switch was the perfect source of fun. Manufacturers couldn't keep up with supply and the console was sold out everywhere, all the time. However, you could find them on third-party sites like eBay or Amazon for completely ridiculous prices. The scalpers were quick. This article is from March 2020 and it talks about Switches being sold at a median sale price of over $400. If you forgot middle school math, median is the midpoint of the data, the middle. That means there were some prices lower and some prices even higher for a console whose MSRP is $300. A few months later in September, we see evidence of prices on eBay still not budging. For the better part of a year, Switches were impossible to find, and the ones that you could find were absurdly overpriced. And yet, Nintendo still sold almost 30 million consoles in the fiscal year of April 2020 to March 2021. So it's not like Nintendo wasn't selling Switches, they were. There was just such a crazy demand that third-party sellers could still list their products for stupid prices. Speaking of awful sellers, there was a huge boom of companies trying to sell bells and Nook Mile tickets for real money. It was hard not to come across an ad for one of these websites during the New Horizons prime. As someone who was making Animal Crossing content at the beginning of New Horizons life, I received a lot of emails from these websites trying to sponsor my videos. This one company I got emails from all the time, and I loved ghosting them. They sell a lot of stuff, and steal a lot of stuff. One part, and probably the most profitable part of the site, is their marketplace. You can buy in-game items for a ton of games, which, by the way, these are stupid prices, because look, I can get these for free, and they're charging this much? What? But another part of their website is a bunch of articles about games that they sell items for. I'm assuming this was a way to get into search engines SEO. Google might see you as a bit sketchy or scammy sales site if you're just selling virtual items, ignoring the fact that NFTs now exist. But if you're just writing informational articles about games, you'll definitely show up near the top of a search. The problem is, they aren't writing these articles themselves. If we read a little bit, we can see my entire script, practically word for word. Some sentences are taken out, but if you have taken any English class, we know that quoting word for word without sources is just straight up stealing. Let's take a quick look at this article and compare it to my script. It's not the legendary 2.0 update that we've been waiting for. This update is definitely what we expected. Something small, quick, and consisting of new firework festival items. It's nothing huge, which is fine. It's got some cute items that you can run around and play with. I've been keeping my expectations down for the last few updates, but secretly still waiting for something to outdo the Halloween update of 2020. Well, if you're not convinced now that this website sucks a lot of donkey, I hope this helped. The site has been doing this since the beginning of New Horizons. The vast majority of Animal Crossing creators have had their videos stolen by them. Usually, I'm okay with other people stealing my videos outright, as long as they're linking to my channel or the video. But when they copy a video and don't credit the researcher or the writer, rude. I don't even want to be associated with someone scamming children. But our content is stuck on this website until the end of time with nothing that can be done about it. Just know that none of us approve of these articles. They're still going even today. I'm sure most of these places are making the bulk of their money from selling you hacked items. While they're scummy and scammy, it's unclear how scammy they are. Are they selling your personal information that you're inputting into the website, stealing your credit card number? No one knows. All I know is that these are bad websites and you should stay away from them. If you want easy bells or Nook Mile tickets, there are much better ways to get them. One is to stop being lazy and just play the game. As someone who uses a lot of Nook Mile tickets, I understand why sometimes this isn't always a viable option. Other ways are Nookazon and Treasure Islands. Though lately Nookazon has been full of bots and users with 0 reviews on their account. Like Amazon, the way you can avoid getting scammed by Nookazon users is by looking at the reviews of the seller or the buyer. Are they going to come to your island and steal a bunch of stuff you don't want them to touch? Is one party going to take the item but not trade with the agreed upon item and leave you with nothing? There's always the risk. But most people on Nookazon are stand-up people. Lately, it's hard to get someone to respond to your offer though. New Horizons isn't at the top of everyone's minds anymore. Someone will list an item and go on with their day, most likely forgetting that they listed anything in the first place. Look at these posts from April. They 100% forgot that they even created it. Treasure Islands are, that's kind of ironically the one thing that isn't a scam in the world of New Horizons. In fact, I could consider these Treasure Islands scalper destroyers. These hacked islands are full of pretty much any item you can think of. The only somewhat scams for these is some of them charge money, but I mean, it's up to you if you want to pay for them or not. There's plenty of free ones out there, so you don't have to pay for them. Treasure Islands are the solution to all of your anti-scam needs. Want a Raymond? No problem. You can get one in boxes in a second. Want a pocket full of Nook Mile tickets? You can have someone drop off 800 tickets right on your island. No cost to you. Good hackers are always the ones to overthrow the bad hackers. If you're going to strive to be anything in life, be a good hacker. We need more good hackers in the world. We've all survived the New Horizons scams. Congratulations, I'm so proud of you. These scams are still out there though, so if you're just starting your journey, welcome, hi. Watch out for these people who are trying to steal your money. It's a dangerous world out there. The only way scams will stop is when the next Animal Crossing releases and they'll move on to the next game and a bunch of people will come back to steal our hard-earned cash. Unfortunately, we'll never be without them. People are always going to want to make money easy. Just be careful out there and you'll survive the war on New Horizons scammers. God, I really hope that website steals this script. It would be so funny to just see like New Horizons scams on the scammiest website. I'm gonna pray to Anka that happens.